Hey guys, Team Zero Plant here doing an update video on my Chaos plant. Pretty much this is going to be what I use if I go to Nationals. I got my qualifiers at Comic-Con last February, and this is what I'll be running if I go. I will not be attending YCS Providence considering I'm from Tuscaloosa, and I'm not going to go travel up there for nothing, I guess is what I'm going to call it. I'm just going to show you the main build. I'll tell you what I took out of it after I run through the deck. So, and I'll give you a side deck and everything. 3 Raikos, 2 Doppel Warriors, 2 Longfires, 2 Debris Dragons, 2 Junk Synchrons, 1 Gores, 1 Kaias. I'm thinking about bumping Kaias up to 2 or Chaos Sorcerer at 2. But Chaos Sorcerer at 1, Lila at 1, Effect Veiler at 1, Spore at 1, Glow Up at 1. I don't know why I keep saying a 1. Dandy. Now, Penguin Soldier. This is a card I added in. For those who don't know, when you place this card face down in defense mode and it gets flipped up, it's like a Raikou without the cost or the destroy any card. It returns two monsters on the field to the owner's hand. And the ruling on that card is you can't return Penguin Soldier when it's being destroyed. So you have to destroy 2 other cards. That does it. I think there's 18 monsters in the deck. Spells, 2 MSTs, 1 Dark Hole, 1 1-for-1, 1 Rhoda, 1 Shrunade, 1 Book of Moon, Monster Reborn, 1 Pot of Avarice. Going back to this card, I get stuck when I have 2 of him. That's why I run 1. And when I get to where I have to use 1, I kind of hold out on it until the cards I actually need are in the graveyard, like Debris Dragon, Junk Synchron, any of them that will finish off the game. 1 Foolish, 1 Chalice. Now what this card does is 1 face-up monster on the field gains 400 attack points, but its effects are negated until the end phase. So say for example, Penguin Soldier is going to be face down, and you have Forbidden Chalice face down. When you attack the Penguin Soldier, you can activate Chalice, and its effects negated. It cannot get its effect. You can't call priority over it. And new card, Super Poly. Now this card, you'll see what I'll add in the Synchro deck or my extra deck. So we're gonna hold off on this card. I'm gonna put it right here, and we're just gonna hold off on it. Traps, 2 Bottomless, 2 Deep Prisons, Double Warning, 1 Judgment, 1 TT, and 1 Mirror Force. The deck itself is 41 cards, 40 or 41 cards. The cards I took out, first of all, was Jump Berserker, but I replaced him with Black Rose, and then I took him out. Titanium was another card I took out. I figured with Longfires, I need to start going for higher cards, or not higher cards, but monsters I can go for. So if I go Longfire, I need to start going into Dandies and all them. And I took out my Triple Tengus. Now, the reason why I took these out, these were just a 1700 attackers, and I didn't need that in this deck. I need cards that can bring out other cards. I know Tengu does that with his effect, but I didn't see a need in him in this deck. I saw him as a 1 in this deck, and I forced my deck to work around him. So I'm going to go back to the way I want it. Now, when I get it back, I'm going to put an Effect Veiler in there. I'm going to side a Max C. So, I still haven't had those cards back yet from the guy who took them, from like locals. Things, I did hear news that I will be getting them back, it's just depending on when the guy's going to give them back. Synchros. Double Formula. 1 Armory Arm. 1 Junk Warrior. Now, this one is a debatable card. And it would just be that I would take him out for Black Rose. I barely play this guy unless I go Junk Doppel. 1 Catastrophe, or sorry, Frozen Fitzgerald. Wow. I thought I had Catastrophe right there. Frozen Fitzgerald is a card I did on the card of the week 1, and I love him to death. Uh, Now we have Catastrophe. We have a Bionic. Iron Chain. Black Rose. Then we get into the Stardust. Now this is where it's going to get really choicey for me, is what I like to call it. Scrap Dragon. Colossal Fighter. Trishula. Now, this card's going to kind of surprise you. Dragon Knight Draco Quest. Um, this is what Super Poly comes into. These two. Super Poly. You discard one card to send from either player's field. So if you're playing 6 Sams, bait them to use another card and use Super Poly with a Dragon type Synchro monster, which is going to be probably Stardust or Scrap Dragon, or pretty much any dragon. So it could be Trishula for this deck, Black Rose, Scrap Dragon, Stardust, Iron Chain Dragon, and yeah, I mean, you could take his Shein because it requires a warrior type monster for Draco Quest, and special summon that monster, and your opponent cannot counter this. So actually, really, you could actually get rid of their Shein with a Super Poly. So we can put that back with the spells. And Drago Knight, his effect, it can pretty much only be synchro summon, or not synchro, fusion summon. You can select one dragon monster from your graveyard, remove it from play, and treat this card as the name of the monster's name, and give this card the same effects as the monster until the end phase. So if you have a Trishula, or actually I'll take that back, I'm not going to use Trishula as an example. Scrap Dragon, great example. If you got a token out here and you have Dragonite, remove Scrap Dragon from your graveyard. Get your token away from the field and pretty much get rid of his monster. And while this card's in face-up attack mode, any damage you would take from an opponent's card effect is negated. Or actually is inflicted to your opponent. And the last card, Shooting Star Dragon. Next, my extra deck, or side deck. 2 Gothams for the Sabers. 2 Viruses for the Dragons and Machines. 2 Kinetic Soldiers for Sams. 2 Crossouts for the Gravekeepers. 2 Crows for the Mirror Match. 1 Thunder King if I have to face a Fairy. And Shivery's going to go with 6 Sams. And I'm missing the Puppet Plants. That will go with it. That'll give me 15. But that's pretty much it for the video.